jail. Whoa, jail. You're going to jail. Whoa, jail. You're going to jail. Period. Ou pas la prison. Yes. Put all they ass next to R. Kelly. Jail, prison, prison, clank, clank.
Clank, clank. What's up, y'all? It's your sister, Jessie Woo. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please make sure that you subscribe, so you can join the Black Women's Tribe during Black Women's Mi Gente, Black Women's Month. Shout out to all the Latinos, okay? All the non-Blacks to the back. All the non-Blacks to the back. Everybody white, sit tight. If you're not Black, sit tight, okay? If you are a non-Black, you are welcome, but you got to go en arrière, okay? How y'all doing? Let's jump right on in. Not out, but in. We have a big update. And you know what? I saw this during the week, but I've been working a lot this week. I just didn't get a chance to go live. And I actually started to record a video. And I was like, no, I'm going to go live. Like, I'm not recording no video. This bum ass, this motherfucker is not worth me editing nothing. We just going to get it raw. Y'all's going to hear the rawness of this all. But 3 years ago, I uploaded a video called the LA Swindler here on my YouTube channel. And we're going to play some clips from time to time. Thank you so much. The mental millennials looking like a Haitian baddie in the 90s. Thank you. We're going to play some snippets here and there, but back then, I did not say who the LA Swindler's name was. I never said his name back then because, to be honest, I had not been swindled. I did not have proof that he was a swindler. I just had a whole lot of circumstantial evidence, I would say, right? Like, it just were all these circumstances that were coinciding that led me to believe that this man was in fact a swindler. A lot of things just from our inception just did not make sense to me. So I didn't say his name back then, but he knew exactly who he was because he hopped online immediately and claimed he wasn't a swindler, that he had never stolen anything from anybody, that people were lying on him, and his mental health is at risk and all these things. He knew, everybody knew. Well, everybody from the body of Christ knew because immediately once I made that video, I had to make a follow-up because I had so many people come forward and give me so many receipts. But anyway, again, I didn't say his name at the time because I did not have any proof. And again, I was not swindled. But I can say today with all confidence that the LA Swindler is Pastor Adrian Davis, or as many know him by his other, I guess you say alias, I don't know, but AD, Pastor AD. There was a big update that was released during the week, and we're going to get to that. But before I get to that, let me say this, and I want to make myself very, very clear when I say this. Adrian Davis, Pastor AD, is a dangerous man, a very dangerous man. Anybody who can use God, the word of God, to manipulate folks and coerce folks and swindle folks out of their money is a very dangerous person. As a matter of fact, I would even go further and say this man is demonic. Okay? A very demonic person, dangerous person. He's a pathological liar. He's a thief. He's a swindler who uses Christ, the word of God, to swindle people out of money. Okay? Who also uses his body and his booty hole to swindle people out of money. This man is a disgusting, vile human being who also loves to gaslight you and to use mental illness, mental health as a crutch. So whenever he is being exposed, it comes to, oh, I'm gonna delete myself. I'm gonna delete myself. Mind you, one thing about men who go around and people who go around, oh, I'm gonna delete myself every time they get caught. Don't you notice they never delete themselves? They never do humanity a favor and delete themselves. They just use mental health as a manipulation tactic. And this is exactly what this man does. This man is a vile, disgusting, psychotic man. He's not a man of Christ. Never was. Okay? And I'm so happy that I can say this as a person who wasn't swindled. My God, today. I feel so bad for the people who have been swindled by him over the years. And we're going to get to that too, about how he's been able to swindle even more people. Because again, I met this man about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, but I made my video 3 years ago because I had met him 4 years ago and I went to, let me just give a brief introduction for those of you guys who don't know how I met this man. I have a family member who's in the industry and his manager at the time wanted to manage me. And at the time, this family member that I have, he's very well known. He's in a lot of hit TV shows, a lot of hit movies. And again, his manager at the time wanted to manage me as well. So one of the stipulations to managing me was to have me go to this actor conference boot camp sort of thing that was a weekend long. That was from Friday to Sunday. And I was like, okay. And within this actors weekend, we were going to meet different acting coaches, sit down with different acting coaches, meet different agents, meet other very successful actors. A lot of things were promised to us, right? We were going to get to film our actors reel, and we were also going to get to film have our headshots taken. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I can't remember the amount he asked me to pay for this. I really wish I remembered, but I can't remember the amount. But I just remember the amount being it was extreme. It was just too expensive for me to go to one panel, for me to have coaching, one session of coaching, for me to, meet actors or whatever. The amount was ridiculous. And I was like, yeah, I'm not paying that. It was several $1,000s. I want to say it was close to $10,000. It was a ridiculous amount. Can't remember. Maybe if I go back in the video, I'll be able to find it. What am I saying? Wasn't it $6K? Yeah, I can't remember, but I remember it being not far off from 10,000. So I felt like it was close to 10,000. Okay. So I was like, no, hell no, to the no, not paying that. And I remember giving the an amount that I thought was feasible. I was like, I think I gave $1,000 or something like that. And I remember the manager at the time telling me, please do not tell anybody that you're paying that. And I thought that was very interesting that he told me that. He was like, please don't tell anyone that you're paying that. I will allow you to pay that because, your cousin is my client, but please don't tell anybody else that you're paying that. I was like, all right, cool. I remember you saying it was $8K. I can't, it was 3 years ago. I can't remember, but I just remember it being, it was a wild amount. Because listen, I know what it takes to get headshots. I know what it takes to get, a real headshots. If you're paying more than $500 for some headshots, you're getting scammed. Unless you're going to a top-notch photographer who's a celebrity photographer. No, headshots are $200. Not even, to be honest, but $200. Okay, so yeah, no. So anyway, I agreed. I paid I think I paid $1,000 or $1,500, not more than that. And I went on down to the to the Actors Weekend or whatever. When I got there, it was this thing called Commas, the Commas Conference, and it was all about being a comma. And it was this guy, Adrian Davis, who was leading the conference, and he was leading all these workshops where really there wasn't really no real work. I just remember thinking, this is weird. He's not an actor. He's not an acting coach. He's never acted. He has no, like, when he introduced himself, he used to be a pastor. So why the fuck is this man leading this? It was just really weird to me. And I remember him just asking us all, like, everybody, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And at the time, I sold hair. And before I could even say what I did, he was already saying, oh, and Jesse, I know you sell hair. And I just was like, how the fuck this motherfucker know that? Like, this motherfucker done research me. Like, why is he in my pockets like this? And the way he would talk to you was as if he wanted to partner with whatever business you already had. He wanted to partner with you on that and make you a comma because, you know, he used to be a pastor, but God is telling him to go into Hollywood because, you know, being a pastor, he was stuck in this box and he didn't want to be stuck in that box anymore. So that's what made him a comma, whatever. It just was fucking weird. It was weird. I just remember walking away from that thinking that was odd. And I think I kept in contact with him for a little bit, and then I didn't talk to him for a while because I just felt like it was just a little weird. Then probably a year later, he came back around, and like I gave communication another shot, and things turned romantic. I was seeing him romantically. But I remember there were just certain things that were very puzzling to me because remember, for the conference was thousands of dollars, right? But remember, I was told not to say anything about what I paid. So it was always in the back of my mind, what the fuck did other people pay? Right? And then this motherfucker ain't got no job. Like, what is his job? He's not preaching anymore. He's not at the church anymore. I knew that he was preaching in Huntsville before he moved to LA. He said that God called him to start the commas thing, and God called him to go to LA and to be a spiritual leader for people in Hollywood and all this stuff. And it's like, I just didn't understand why God would take someone out the pulpit and send them to LA. I just didn't get that. But anyway, there were a lot of things that just didn't make sense. He didn't have a job. From what it looked like, he didn't have income coming in. But he had like what's the car with the stars in the sky? I want to be where the scammers are, with the stars in the sky. The car with the stars in the sky. He had that. He had a BMW. He had I think it was like a Range Rover. Like, he had a fleet of very expensive cars. He stayed in a very, very high-end high-rise in downtown LA that was very popular amongst folks in Hollywood. And just things were not making sense to me. And so I made a video about it, right? So hold on. Let me see if I can bring this, because I just want to remind y'all. Yeah, Rolls Royce. Okay. His scam went from 15,000. Yes. It was a crazy amount. I was like, it was such a crazy amount. I'm like, what? Like, who is paying that? Like, especially like for y'all, like, this ain't Culture Con, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't InvestFest. Like, these big conferences ain't even charging that. So why would I pay you niggas? Like, why would I pay y'all this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So anyway, hold on. Hold on. Okay. Whew. Okay. So I just want to go to the point that made me make the video, and then we're going to go to the federal charges that he's been hit with. Hold on. I hope I have a transcript here. Was it do? Mm. Maybe I should put 1,000. My bad, y'all. Hold on. Oh, so the transcript does do numbers. Wasn't it? Oh. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Was it in this video? Because I feel like he was trying to get $10,000 from the church. Was it here?
Simpler for now. Why don't you move out of your building and get a cheaper building? I'm like, and when he gets to Vancouver, the people who hired him, which are her team, I guess, and he was able to file for alimony. Mind you, he's never taken care of my aunt financially. He was, and I'm not understanding how money is tight.
Okay,
So
I think this is it.
I'm going to St. Martin for my birthday. And he was like, oh, well, I would love to come to St. Martin. And I was like, well, you know what? I already have a suite booked. Just buy your plane ticket. He's like, oh, I wish I could, but money's tight right now. And I was like, I mean, it's $2,000 for the plane ticket. And you don't have to pay for the room. Like, I already have a suite and everything. You just buy your plane ticket and come. And he was like, yeah, but money's pretty tight right now. And so I was like, okay, I mean, I'm not understanding how money is tight for you because you live in a luxurious building. You drive a Wraith. You drive a Range Rover. Like you have a third car. You're living in a very expensive building. And mind you, like in LA, to park your car in your building, it'd be like $300. That's like another car note. It's like another car note for you to just park your car in the building. I think like we didn't talk for like 2 days or something, whatever. But fast forward to my trip to St. Martin, like he sent me flowers to my room. He sent me a charcuterie board. He sent me some wine. He sent me some strawberries covered in chocolate. So I was like, okay, I mean, at least, he's kind of making some effort here. Boom. Now, when I come back from St. Martin, I'm telling my homeboy about this. And my homeboy's like, nah, Jess, something is off. And my homeboy actually had met him with me when I originally met him. And he was like, Jess, I've told you from day one, I feel like something's off with this man. I don't think he's honest about where he's at financially. So now fast forward to after my birthday, I had to come to LA. It was the Rap Shit premiere. I stayed with him. Now, let me tell you this. I think that this particular trip to stay with him was a big eye-opener because I was there for 5 days. I remember one time my aunt telling me, she was like, Jess, you know what? Before you marry a man, you really should live with a man. Like, you should. She's like, I know, like, you're brought up very religiously.
Jesse was really going through it with knitters back in it. Let me tell you. He's a knitter. God is good. God is good. But I'm just doing a little recap for those of y'all who didn't see this video.
And that, like, you're not supposed to do certain things before you get married, especially like as a Christian woman. But she was like, trust me, you should always live with a man. And, this particular aunt, when she told me this with her husband, and he married, oh my God, and for alimony, doing here in this house to pay this month, because I felt like when I was staying with him for those 5 days, I saw a lot of things. And honestly, I'm not even, if I told y'all everything this shit is like a fucking movie, but I'm gonna keep it surface level just for the sake of this video. I will say this. I noticed that he wasn't eating. I also noticed that he didn't have anything going on. Like, he wasn't going to work. He wasn't going to do anything, right? Now, like, I think like by the third day, it was, oh, I'm gonna go into my office, and he was supposed to have a gig. The gig never.
I'm gonna say one thing that I didn't say one thing I saw that I didn't talk about here was, I'm not sure if it's in this video or in my follow-up video, but Adrian Davis adopted, I believe, a 19-year-old girl when he was in his like early 30s, right? He adopted a 19-year-old girl, right? Which doesn't make any sense. And I think like in Alabama's one of those states where you can adopt like an adult. Anybody who has their Googles, y'all can look that up. Somebody said involuntary fasting. I'm screaming. But one thing that I did see that I didn't talk about in these videos was, I always thought that his relationship with his adoptive daughter was very strange. One thing that I saw was, while I was there, was the adoptive daughter was there, but I never saw her. Like, she just stayed in her room the entire time. And I would ask him, like, is she okay? Does she want anything? Maybe I said this in the follow-up video. I'm like, is she okay? Does she want anything? Does she want any food? Like, days would go by. I didn't even see her eat. And then there was one point when her sister, so she had blood relatives in LA. Her sister came and stayed with her, with them. And they would just stay in the room. Like, it just was the most bizarre thing. I just remember thinking, what in the R. Kelly is happening? Like, why are these two grown women staying in this room and not coming out, not eating? And remember, I said even in this video too, I talked about the fact that he wouldn't even eat. Like, he didn't have anything in his fridge, no food in his fridge. But let me have said, oh, I'm about to order something on Uber Eats. Oh, can you get me? Oh, can you get me? Like, the man would be hungry and wasn't eating, but had a fleet of luxury cars. It made no sense. And the fact that you have this adoptive daughter and now her blood sister just staying in this room, not coming out, it just was the weirdest thing. It made no sense. It gave R. Kelly. Like, it really gave, like, what are they doing? Somebody said Ozempic household. Like, what? And you know, I know we're having a little bit of a key, but it kind of gives like, okay, why are these women not feeling like they can come outside? Like, do they feel they are not allowed to come outside? Like, are you feeding them under the door? And mind you, like, when I would order food, and, oh, can you order me? I'll be like, does she want anything? No, she don't want anything. It just was the weirdest thing. It was the weirdest thing. But I'm trying to get to the point that made me do this video. It's 40 minutes long. I don't know if my transcripts, but make a long story short, if you watch this, it's a really good story. Just make some time. If you haven't seen the LA Swindler, go ahead and watch this video. But I told a story about how there was a day when he called me and he told me about how there was a church here in Atlanta that wanted him to come out and deliver, I think it was a sermon at a conference that they were having. And I was like, oh, that's great. You know, go ahead, like, do it. And he's like, yeah, but no, remember, I left preaching behind. I said I was no longer going to preach. And I was like, well, just don't do it. He's like, yeah, but money's tight right now. I could sure use the $10,000. And I was like, okay, then do it. Oh, but you know, I left preaching behind. And I was like, is this motherfucker trying to ask me for $10,000? Like, it's like, you know how somebody's like, they're not asking you for something, but they're asking you for something. They're like testing the waters. They're testing your temperature to see if they can get you to give them the money. That's what made me make the video. Well, actually, it wasn't just that. It was the dry begging. And I was like, well, go do it. Like, if you're strapped for cash, Go do it. And then I even told him, like, I think you should downsize. I think I said this in the video too. Hold on. Did I say this in the video? Oh, I closed the transcript. Hold on. I feel like I clicked on a segment of it that said it earlier, but I was like, I think you should downsize. Like, obviously, you're not living within your means. Like, you should live within your means. And when I said that to him, that was our last conversation. That man never spoke to me again. And so I just so happened to look on my phone one day, and like, I think it was like on my explore page, I saw him or someone taking a photo of him at the church that he was like, he didn't want to come to, that was here in Atlanta. Now, when we started dating, there was one time when we went on a date where he mentioned one girl, a specific girl to me that he was dating, that he had dated years prior to me, that lived here in Atlanta. And so when I saw that he had come to Atlanta and didn't tell me, I reached out to her. And the moment I reached out to this young lady, she knew exactly what I was asking her about. Immediately, she knew who I called her about and why. And she was the one who revealed to me that this man was living a double, triple life, that he had taken all the church's money from Huntsville, that a lot of times when they were dating, that not only were people warning her about dating him, but because he was stealing money from the church, but also that he was sleeping with men from the church. Like, it was literally just very controversial. And he always denied it. And whenever things would, when he would be close to being exposed, it was always like, it became like a mental health thing. Oh my God, my mental health. Like, he was always able to like escape that and go to his mental health. And so, yeah, she even told me, like, when they were dating, that he would spend so much money on her, like taking her on luxurious dates, like taking her like to the mall, take her down to Hermes, pick whatever you like. Mind you, this man he was preaching. And he was preaching at Anwa. Like, it's not like, it's a big church, but it's not like, it's not giving buy Hermes bags. Like, it's not giving that. It's giving like he was taking money from the church that he wasn't supposed to be taking. So anyway, let's get to hold on. Let's get to because I can go on for days and days and days. But here he is. So this came out a couple of days ago. Former pastor accused of using over $400K of church funds on luxury goods, including cars. And before we get into this too, let me make something very clear. Because I caught a little bit of Larry Reid's live, which I thought it was very, like, I love Larry Reid down, but I thought it was very funny how he's switched up his speech. It's very clear that maybe Adrian's trying to snatch your booty up or something like that. I don't know what conversation Adrian gave you. I don't know if he told you that he's going to delete himself, which he's not going to do. I don't know if he, offered you his gigolo services, but when I was catching a little bit of Larry's live, like, I felt like he kind of alluded that this happened because of my video. I was never contacted by the authorities, ever. Jessie Woo was never contacted by the authorities. I never spoke to anybody in law enforcement about this man. However, I think because of my follow-up video where I explain, and we're going to go to the follow-up video. In my follow-up video, I was able to show screenshots and I was able to play recordings of previous members who said that this man was a thief and he wasn't just stealing money from the church. He was stealing money from church members. For instance, like, one thing he would do, he had these like, he wasn't pastoring anymore, but he was doing Bible study and he was taking up offering on his Bible studies. When he was doing his podcast, he was taking up, hey, if you want to donate to this, that, and the third, this is going towards the work of the Lord. Like, he would even tell some members that he was down and out while he was in LA, that he fell on hard times. And so those members would actually send him money. There was one girl who came to me and said, yo, he baptized me one day and hunched me the next, like, and then was taking her money. Like, these are the things that he was doing. And I don't understand, like, when I caught a bit of Larry Reid's live too, it was like, oh, I'm going to have grace, or I'm going to go easy. Like, I really don't understand how y'all be having so much grace for abusers. This man is an abuser. Adrian Davis is an abuser. He's a financial abuser. He's a scammer. He's a thief. He's a swindler. Financial abuse is a real thing. And the fact that this man was using God to do this, like, y'all be having so much grace for these men who use the word of God to abuse God's people. But y'all won't have that grace for the women who are his victims, ever. It's so weird. I find that to be so weird. It's so weird. What is that? What is that? Don't get me wrong. Like, pastors are not perfect. Y'all talk about my pastor all the time. Okay. Pastors are not perfect. I don't expect them to do that. But when you have a pastor literally using the word of God to swindle money out of people, mind you, these people are less fortunate than he is, because he's taking up all their money. And he's not even taking their money up to do something constructive. No, he's taking their money to buy a Wraith, to buy a Rolls Royce, to buy BMWs, to buy luxury cars, to go to Hermes, to buy for his girlfriend, who he's using as a beard, because we all know he likes it up the ass. Like, please be for real. What is that? Like, why are we having grace for this? Like, and this is for the people like Larry, I love Larry's content, but when I saw that, I just was like, baby, you have got to have your limits. You have got to have your limits sometime. I know Adrian is good looking. I know. But also, you call yourself a godly man. So which one is it? So you support someone who uses the word of God to abuse people? The fuck? It's so weird. Huntsville, Alabama, a former Huntsville lead pastor is facing federal wire and tax fraud charges. Adrian Davis, the former lead pastor of All Nations Worship Assembly, is facing charges of wire fraud and filing a false tax return. According to court records, Davis served as a marketing consultant for ANWA and received a salary in a parsonage for his services. I thought this was very interesting, because I thought he was the pastor. That's what he was calling himself too, the pastor, former pastor. Like, so this is interesting. However, Davis is accused of using the funds on cars, entertainment, and other personal expenses. Authorities said that although ANWA authorized Davis to receive a salary and parsonage, he was not authorized to use the funds for personal expenses. The records state that Davis used funds to buy vehicles in 2018 and 2019, including a 2016 GMC Yukon for $45,000, while spending more than $35,000 on miscellaneous entertainment and retail items not approved by ANWA. And mind you, this is 2018 and 2019. We're in 2025. This man's tried to swindle me back in 2022. I was still getting people coming to me with DMs and receipts of him swindling them last year. Okay. Davis is also accused of using more than $24,000 of ANWA's funds to pay for a mortgage on his home for his mother, and using funds to pay off personal credit cards, including $117,000 to American Express, and wiring money from the church's bank account to Amex. That's crazy. That's absurd. According to court documents, he used more than $400,000 in ANWA funds over the years for personal purposes without authorization. Additionally, Davis is accused of filing a false tax return, with authorities saying in March 2021, he filed his taxes where the return reported that he received $138,000, but he allegedly made more than that. Federal court records show that Davis has signed a plea deal for both charges and filed against him. As part of the plea deal, he will have to pay a total restitution of nearly $550,000 and more than $434,000 going to All Nations Worship Assembly and over $114,000 to the IRS. I can't wait till people start actually pursuing him individually. For wire fraud, the maximum sentence is 20 years in prison, and for filing a false tax return, the maximum sentence is 3 years. Davis is scheduled to be arraigned October 23rd, 9:30 a.m. in Huntsville. I would pay money to see him getting arraigned. Because I know you're not going to delete yourself like you telling everybody, I'm going to delete my stuff. Nigga, you're not going to delete nothing. You're going to go to jail and you're going to come out and do the same shit that you've been doing all your life. Being a scammer, a swindler, and using God to do it. Shame. You should be ashamed of yourself. Mind you, these are all things that happened before I made my video. So I'm vindicated. I'm vindicated.
Early first on 48 federal court documents obtained by WAFF show a former Huntsville pastor is going to plead guilty to federal wire fraud charges after he spent hundreds of thousands of church dollars on luxury items for himself. WAFF 48's Faith Delp has more on his purchases and his charges.
ADRIAN Davis was the senior pastor at the now closed Huntsville branch of All Nations Worship Assembly. New court documents show that Davis used the church's money from around 2018 to around 2020 to buy cars, shoes, and much more. This
Booty.
is Davis back in 2019, during the time he is accused of taking funds from the ANWA church. Court documents say he bought a $30,000 Audi and $45,000 GMC SUV with the church's money during this time. They also say Davis used the ANWA church's fund to pay off over $100,000 of his own credit card debt. Court documents say some of the purchases on that credit card include a $4,900 purchase from Louis Vuitton and more than $18,000 in jewelry. The documents also say he used the church's money to pay his mother's mortgage. In addition to the wire fraud charges, Davis is going to plead guilty to filing a false tax return. Court documents show in 2021, Davis filed a false tax return stating he made around $138,000 in 2020, but he knew he received more than that. Court records show Davis has signed a plea agreement, pledging to plead guilty to federal wire fraud and filing a false tax return. As part of the agreement, he will have to pay back over $400,000 to the church and another $100,000 back to the IRS. He is also facing up to 23 years in prison across all charges.
Good. I hope they lock his ass up for all 23 years. This is this man right here, dangerous man. Now I did have a follow-up. I have the LA Swindler part 2. If you want to go watch that, I had that on my channel too. But I think I want to play a recording. Hold on.
Let's be friends type shit.
Wait, so you're the one who, because I remember he has a video like that on his IG where he shows somebody.
I'm the one holding the camera.
And you're the one who bought him the
I'm the nigga that bought him the jacket, bro. I can send you the original video. I'm the nigga that bought him the jacket, bro. He touched it and he loved it, and he was like 7,000. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And see, at that day when we went to Louis V,
So when somebody said there's danger in the land, he the danger.
Like 60 bands that day. You feel me? And he had cheap with us. He had spent like $1,500. But I was like, if you want to go, you just told me, bro. Nah, I'm straight. I ain't got like you, bro. I'm doing my thing. I said, okay,
Yeah.
Cool, no problem. But nigga, I'm so genuine. I'm a Libra, bro. I am very genuine. I'm all about balance.
Yeah.
Nigga, you don't got shit. You don't got shit to kick it with me, bro. You don't got nothing. If I like you, you're my friend. You're my friend. But I'll tell you that to say I bought him that.
Yeah.
It's like some church members came in to LA. Nigga, this one all my cars is white. We riding back to back in all white cars. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, it's like 4 church members. I go and I buy every single church member Chanel shoes, Chanel watches, Chanel clothes, Chanel this.
These were his, but these were his friends.
But these was his friends. But I was just on some.
Adrian was getting men. I cannot wait till word spreads across Hollywood, because it's so. Even the other day, I was like, "Wow!" And I hate to say her name. I think she's such a dope girl, and I actually think she's possibly a victim of this man. But I saw Gail Bean holding up something that Adrian gave her, and I was like, "My God!" Like, he's friends with this guy named Lawrence Robinson, who kept pushing him on to a lot of people in Hollywood. And I'm like, bruh, y'all are getting like so many people to be this man. Like, you're getting this man, you're just helping him collect victims. He went from the church to Hollywood to collect victims. And I just don't understand that. I don't understand that.
Like, man, show these niggas you clicked up with some real niggas out here. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Then another time an assistant came, I bought the assistant like a $3,000 diamond bracelet. I was like, you like that? And I bought it, brother. This nigga has never. When I say never, this nigga has never bought me a meal. Never. And like, it's all good because it's not.
Because he ain't got it. Y'all thought I was lying when I said this man wasn't eating. He can't buy no meal because he can't buy himself a meal. But hold on. I think this is the story of he stole this man's watch. Hold on. I'm trying to see.
Trail through me back in those journals, took money out of me with his sob stories.
Wait. I'm the girl in the video. What's she talking about?
There's a video of a girl. This one girl said, I gave him, look at this next one. I gave him $10K. He told me he was homeless and had a brain tumor. I'm sorry, I'm skipping over from time to time. There were different people sending me shit. There was one girl who sent me, this man told her he had a brain tumor. There was one girl, and it's not funny, but it's just wild because this man is just so like, he do not give a fuck. He's going to lie. Like, I got a brain tumor. One girl said he gave her herpes. Like, it just was bad. Like, it was so bad. Is this the story where I had this man in my just give you this watch? That's what he said. Oh, there it is.
She'll tell you like I'm a straight shoot ass nigga, man. Oh man, that's crazy, bro.
He told me you told him. He said, "Oh, Gorilla, like he just showed up to my spot one day. It was like, yo, like I believe in you. I believe in all the projects that you got going on. I know you about to do something big. Let me sew into you. Let me just give you this watch." That's what he said. And even that to me was weird. I'm like, what is a grown ass man?
He didn't tell you that he asked me to borrow the watch?
No. So when you were like, he asked me to borrow the watch and I haven't heard from him since then, I'm like, that is not the story this nigga told me. He's like, remember Gorilla from when you were on FaceTime with me? It's like, yeah, like he sold into me. He gave me this watch. And I don't really know much about watches like that. Now he had his Rolex too. So like one day he had the Rolex with the Cartier bracelet. The next day he had the baguette with the Cartier bracelet.
When did he have the hold on, bro.
Like it's just so much. And then the same guy told me how Adrian had told him, oh Lord, she probably gonna come across this. I'm not putting you in nothing. I'm just saying this is, but if y'all watch the video, y'all know like I went to moderate something for Rap Shit in Miami at the time. At the time I was seeing him. So I invited him to the moderation. This man was telling this guy, so this guy that's on that I just played, he's a huge figure like behind the scenes. He went and told this guy that HBO and Issa Rae flew him out to Miami. Mind you, this was around ABFF, right? Ain't nobody flying you to Miami for nothing. Oh, because she wanted to sit down with me for me to pitch her my stuff. No, I had to tell him that is an absolute lie. I had a job. I was I was hired to moderate the premiere panel for Rap Shit. And he and I were seeing each other at the time. I invited him. He even tried to, like, now when I think about it too, he even tried to do some weird shit with fucking, oh my God, Molly. Why am I forgetting Molly's name? Y'all gonna drag me for this. I'm having a brain fart. I'm just trying to remember everything. What is Lord, don't drag Yvonne, thank you. It was so weird. There was a really like nice moment with me and Yvonne, right? She talked to me backstage and she was just like, yeah, you did such a good job today. And he interrupted and was like, oh yeah, I did business with such and such and such and such. And she looked so perplexed at the time. And now when I look back, I'm like, oh, this nigga was trying to swindle Yvonne, like under my nose, trying to swindle fucking Yvonne Orji. Like it just was so weird. Hold on. There is another. Is this it? Hold on. There's another. These are so old, but there's a recording that I have too of him basically stealing money from one of the guys who went to the Commas conference and actually paid way more than I did, obviously, but was promised something. Hold on. Hold on. There's just so many. Is this it? Maybe it's in my other phone. This one? Hold on, y'all. Is it this one? I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm trying to find, because it's so bad. No, this ain't it. Listen, I have maybe it's in my older phone, but it's somewhere. But basically, make a long story short, one of the guys who attended the Commas conference when I did, right? I think he paid the full amount, right? But several things. He didn't get no headshots. He didn't get no actors reel. And he was supposed to, so basically he just came to the conference. Just, and mind you, it was nothing. Like it was literally us staying in a townhome together from Friday to Sunday, and nothing, like nothing really given to us. But he came and he told me how part of his experience was, remember, the whole conference was about being a comma. It's called the Commas Agency, being a comma. And so Adrian wanted to partner with us on our businesses, right? So this guy, he's in North Carolina and he is like, I guess, a big promoter out there. So Adrian was like, hey, let's open up a club together. He was like, all right, cool. So they had to take out a loan, right? So Adrian, from what I remember from what the guy said, was Adrian got a bank broker, or what, I don't know if it's a loan officer. Y'all got to drop down in the comments and let me know. But basically got a loan officer or a loan broker to broker the loan that they needed to open up the building, right? And so he got him to get the loan. And when he got the loan, Adrian got him to give him the money. And he's never seen Adrian since then. I really want to find the recording for y'all. It's not funny. It's just wild to me. The man was like, when I tell you we're on the phone, the man was crying on the phone to me. Or maybe it was somebody. I had so many phone calls. Maybe it was somebody else crying about something. But basically the man was saying like, yo, like, I was shit out of cash by then because I had did the conference. And then he got me to take out this loan and basically took off with the money. And I can't remember whether the loan officer was somebody that Adrian brought to the table or whether they went to the bank together. I really think it was someone that Adrian brought to him and was like, oh yeah, hey, whenever I do my businesses, this is the person I use, let's use him and he can like broker the loan for us. And yeah, got him to take out the loan, took that man's money. No club was ever opened. No club was ever opened. No club was ever opened. Okay? Yeah. And I think it was like a good 6 figures. Okay? Hopefully these people will go and file their individual lawsuits against Adrian. Let me say something else, right? It was so funny to me because like one person that I did meet at that event was this actor, Lawrence Robinson. And what's funny to me, just like Larry Reed, when folks like me come forward and we talk about people like this, you get shunned by these people because what I've come to learn, two things. People really see truth tellers as messy people. I will never understand that. Because especially like when someone is telling the truth and like truth that can be proven, why is that messy? Especially when they're warning folks, hey, this person tried to do A, B, C, and D to me. Be on the lookout for this person, right? But another thing that I've realized is that a lot of times, this is why I talk about like people who coddle abusers, why I don't like them either. So I have a very hard stance when it comes to like people like Diddy and Carisha and like all that, or Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Like to me, they're just as guilty. Lawrence was somebody who literally I would watch him put Adrian in these rooms with people knowing this man is a swindler. And I never understood why, but now I have my thoughts that I'll keep to myself. But I just never understood why that this man is a thief and a swindler. Like at least like once it was revealed, like Da Vinci cut all ties, but you kept putting this man in rooms with very, very notable actresses and putting them in harm's way. And I don't get that. I really don't get that. Well, I actually do. There was one time I had a phone call with, I remember Adrian told me how he would let Adrian told me how he would let Lawrence use his cars to go impress girls. So I guess it was cool that he was letting you, ride in his cars. Driving the next man's car like that, like, what are we doing? That's enough for you to be putting these Black women in harm's way. Like these Black women in Hollywood, like we already know like how tough it is in the business. and you know this man is a thief, and you kept bringing this man around these women because he was letting you use cars that he stole money from the church to buy. But then, you know, people like me get shunned. People like me get, oh, don't hang around with her. Don't do. I'm just here doing the Lord's work, telling people like, yo, this man is beware of this man. I'm telling you, be very aware of this man. Be very careful. This man's a thief. Nothing that comes out of this man's mouth is the truth. This man is a thief. He's a swindler. Scammer. Oh, thank you. Yup. I was shocked when I see him as, yes. Baby, the things I've seen over, like, since my video, the celebrities I've seen him, I'm like, bruh, like, all this because he be letting you ride his car? Y'all got him in the same room as Ashanti. Now he a photographer now, so he not an acting coach no more. Remember, one of his, if you go in my video, in my follow-up video, he was telling, he told one girl that he was dating, who suspected that he was dating me. Oh no, I'm her acting coach. I'm her acting coach. Mind you, what acting jobs? The only acting job this man got was from Marcus Houston and them, because they're abusers too. What? What's his name? The guy. What's the guy? What's B2K's old manager that was trying to snatch the Chris Stokes? Yeah, the only jobs that you're able to get in that space is from people like Chris Stokes and Marcus, because they're abusers too. We know what Chris Stokes was doing to B2K. Birds of a feather. Jesse, let people learn the hard way. No, seriously. Y'all see, since then I haven't said shit. Since I did this story, I'm like, oh baby, I'm not things that I see happen, I'm just gonna let it be. Let it be. Because number one, I want to protect my peace. Number two, you know what? I do think that sometimes I have a bit of a savior's complex. Like, I will see stuff and I'm like, why don't y'all see this? I'm telling y'all. And it's like, honestly, that is not my job. Like, I'm not here to save people. I'm not here to make you see the light. And to be honest, like, that approach is not always appropriate. That's something I've really have had to learn. That it's not always my place to be like, hey, like, that's really just not always my place. Sometimes my place is to sit back and watch y'all get swindled. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm not the one doing it, but I'd rather just do that than be the one that's looked at in a negative light and be made to feel like I'm wrong and I'm messy and I'm this, I'm that, when literally everything I said 3 years ago, I was correct. I was right. This man is a swindler. He's more than a swindler. He's a thief. And he has no place amongst, like, honestly, jail. Put him in jail. Put him in jail. Put him in jail. People like to shoot the messenger. I'm telling you. They really do. So I don't know if y'all know, like, since then, oh, hey, by the way, I've learned. Adrian Davis, Karen Civil, y'all learn on your own. Good luck to y'all. Good luck to y'all. Y'all learn on your own. But I just wanted to make this, I thought this was going to be real quick. But I just wanted to come on real quick and tell y'all, I told y'all. And even in my follow-up, hold on. I believe there was
a screenshot. And I guess she figured that she and I were dating the alleged swindler at the same time. And how she figured that was she saw something in my Insta story one night, and literally it was me watching a la carte at the swindler's house. And so she hits him up. She's like, yo, is Jessie Woo at your house right now? Like, I follow her on Instagram. And he was like, oh, yeah. You know, she's friends with my daughter.
he told this lady that I was friends with his daughter. The daughter I never met because she stayed in that room locked up the entire 5 days I was there. Never met that daughter. Never met that daughter. And then he went on to tell her he was coaching me as well.
Y'all, I have never met this man's daughter. Okay? She's friends with my daughter. She's like family. And so I tell the girl, I'm like, girl, I am not
Also, I wonder if this is the video that has the recording. There was a recording from a church member. Hold on. Is this the video that has the recording?
Has said that he was flown down to ABFF by HBO.
I just told y'all that
to me.
story.
I was in the same act. That be a real nigga and be like, hey, don't be weird here on a la carte. Mind you, this pay attention to. I kind of to be a girly. Has said that he was flown. And I'm gonna tell you a secret right now. Come closer to the camera. Come on. Come close. Closer. Somebody always driving past my motherfucking crib. Come closer. Did you know that most of the things you're going to hear at these conferences are on Google?
Oh, what a timely message. Maybe that's what I should end it on. But I feel like I had a recording back then even of a church member. Hold on. Do y'all mind if I just look for it real quick? Do y'all mind if I just look for it real quick? Hold on. Let me see if I can find the recording real quick. Hold on. Shouldn't there be like a screenshot folder in your... No, screen recording folder? Screen recording. Shouldn't there be a screen recording? Oh. Is this a screen recording?
The emotions, the chills, everything that you're going through, but God didn't put that on your heart, and you weren't obedient for no reason. You follow what you knew.
Wait, I don't want to play. I don't want to play the women because a lot of women sent me long messages. Women that were his victims. Hold on.
They did, but they was out there.
Hold on. I feel like there was one guy.
He just took flight.
Hold on, y'all. Is this it?
Just hit me. So we're gonna talk about male harassment. Y'all, please gonna give her some attention. Please. Listen. Sean. Please call the police, please. No. So we're gonna talk about. Just hit me. So we're gonna talk about male harassment. Y'all, please gonna give her some attention. Listen. Sean.
You can't hear it? Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can play it for y'all. Let me send it. Hold on. Hold on.
Hit me. She just hit me. So we're gonna talk about male harassment. Y'all, please go give her some attention. Please.
Fucking the church members.
Listen.
Pastors. He baptized and fucked me the next day, y'all.
Sean, please call the police, please.
No.
So we're gonna talk about.
He baptized me and fucked me the next day, y'all. Like, you hear her in the background. Insane. Hold on, I don't want to play. Oh, here it is. But wait, hold on. Let me crop this man. Let me crop this man's face out because I don't want y'all to see his face. But I want y'all to hear this for yourselves. This is a church member. I want y'all to hear this for yourselves. Hold on. This was a church member reached out to me and told me this personally.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm definitely ready for part 2, but I wanted to send you another video. These videos from 2020, like Blood been trying to scheme on this for a minute, I guess, because he tell you exactly what he did. Like, he got LLCs, and I guess he put all them luxury things in his LLC, and what he gonna end up doing is just filing bankruptcy, and it ain't gonna affect nothing in his personal life. But yeah, that's crazy. My roommate and them was his best friend. They was close as hell, and I get along with everybody, but I just could never vibe with fool. I just felt like it just, and you know, God, you can't play with God. Like, bro was playing with God. Like, bro was smashing. From what I'm hearing, he was smashing dudes in the church, not just women. Bro was out there being on some bisexual. But yeah. The LA Swindler. You had me weak. You said not doing. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm definitely ready for part 2, but I wanted to send you another video. These videos from 2020, like Blood been trying to scheme on this for a minute, I guess, because he tell you exactly what he did. Like, he got LLCs, and I guess he put all them luxury things in his LLC, and what he gonna end up doing is just filing bankruptcy, and it ain't gonna affect nothing in his personal life. But yeah, that's crazy. My roommate and them was his best friend. They was close as hell, and I get along with everybody, but I just could never vibe with fool. I just felt like it just, and you know, God, you can't play with God. Like, bro was playing with God. Like, bro was smashing. From what I'm hearing, he was smashing dudes in the church, not just women. Bro was out there being on some bisexual. But yeah. The LA Swindler. You had me weak. You said not doing.
When I tell you the church members, his college people, like, when I tell you they sent me so many voice notes, it was, I think this one just cracked me. Bisexual. Not the women. Not as national coming out there. I'm coming. Shout out to everybody who coming out, period. Adrian, come out too. You need to just come out. You need to come out. We all know you come out for a show, for a scheme. You gonna come out for a scheme, though. You gonna come out for a scheme. I know your works. I know you for your works. There's plenty more where that came from. Trust me. Plenty more receipts. Plenty more where that came from. And even that, he had sent me, is the video in here? But even that, you could see he had sent me some videos there that Adrian has sent that were just very, very questionable. I ain't gonna play it because you know he might delete himself. That man ain't gonna delete himself. He ain't gonna do us that favor. He gonna go to jail. He gonna come out and do the same shit. This man is a swindler. And when the Netflix doc come out, matter of fact, you need to go ahead and make this a Netflix doc. Not gonna hold you. Not gonna hold you. I might. Because it's so much more that I really feel like y'all need to hear the story of the women. The women. There was one woman, I will say. There was one woman who is related to Missy Elliott. Not gonna say how, but she's related to Missy Elliott. And she gave me her story about how this man was trying to basically swindle Missy Elliott out of some money through using his daughter. So he used to push his daughter like as a rapper, and basically he was trying to get his daughter signed, and you know, kind of just doing whatever he could, I guess, to get her signed. And you know, he was trying to work his magic. I'm gonna leave it at that. He's trying to work his magic on Missy. Tried to swindle Missy the Elliott. Also, there are some women here in Atlanta who don't know that I know he swindled them too. I ain't gonna tell y'all. Maybe when I start racking up, getting everybody together for the doc, maybe y'all reach out to y'all and y'all can share y'all story. But it's several of y'all here that I know that if you may be entitled to compensation. If you have ever been in touch with this man, you may be entitled to compensation. Let me know if y'all trying to do a doc. Let me know. 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 But yeah, I will finish off with this. It's Saturday night, y'all. I know I done took up, and I probably gone on different rants. Thank you so much, Trey. Sometimes just calling it out is enough. Somebody you may never meet will see this message. Yeah, no, literally, you're right. And thank you for your super chat. But no, you're literally right. Oh, I know. What's up, Sneaker? Oh yeah. You almost became a victim too. Don't worry, I'll call you for the doc. I'll call you for the doc. Because you got a hell of a story too. You got a hell of a story too. Shit, you might want to tell it right now. I don't know. Yeah, let Mr. East. Period. Keep it in the house. Keep it in the house. Jesse, please say, for what? Do you not see this man? For what? What am I saying allegedly for? For what? What am I saying allegedly for? The man is a scammer. What do you talk? Allegedly what? Allegedly what? Do you not see what's going on? He going to jail. Whoa, like, like what? Going to jail. Whoa, 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 jail. You're going to jail. Whoa, 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 jail. You're going to jail. Period. Yes. Put all they ass next to R. Kelly. Jail, prison, prison, clank, clank. Rapide. What am I saying allegedly for? He going to jail. He going to jail October 23rd, 9:30 a.m. Jail. What am I saying allegedly for? He's a swindler. He's a thief. Period. Puison. Clank, clank. Puison. Period. All right. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? Truth be told. Truth be told. I mean, the sneaker store was doomed from jump. I tried to advise him on how to run it when he asked me to be a partner, but they didn't listen. He was trying to run a scheme then too. The man is a scammer, period. Okay. So anyway, if y'all want to take heed to my warning, you know, do so. Okay. Do so. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Adrian Davis is a scammer. Adrian Davis is a scammer. Adrian Davis is a thief. Adrian Davis is a swindler. No, he does not have cancer. He lying. Telling y'all he got cancer, telling y'all he down and out. No. Adrian is a dangerous, vile person who uses the Lord and the word of God to swindle people out of their money and their booty holes. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. That is it. Okay. And you know what else too? When I just think about all of this man just wanted to look rich. Look rich and have access to the rich, and was willing to do anything. Willing to lie, willing to steal, willing to scheme, willing to offer up his body, his booty hole. Like, it should never be that deep. It should never be that deep. And I'm gonna need y'all to have, like, stop having grace for abusers and start paying attention. Start having standards and boundaries for people who abuse people this way. Stop inviting them to events. Stop putting them in the same rooms as their next potential victims. Lawrence Robinson, stop inviting Adrian everywhere. I know he be letting you use his car. The scheme ends now. Stop inviting that man everywhere. You are literally putting people in harm's way by putting this man in their midst. You know how many, I had several female actors who, so embarrassed, would not say anything publicly about their encounters with this man. Y'all know this man is a scammer and a thief and a con artist, a swindler, who, according to some of his victims, is actually spreading STDs as well. I don't know that, but that's what some of his victims have told me and put online too. There's a girl who made a whole page about how he gave her I think it was 2 different STDs. I'm not gonna put it up because I ain't nobody gyno. Okay, I don't know, but yeah, stop putting this man in these rooms with these known actors and actresses, because here's the thing too, is that unfortunately a lot of you all will see pictures of this man with other people and think, oh, since he's with this person, he's cool, let me follow him too, let me pay for his class, let me pay for and now you're a victim. Now you're a victim all because you saw this person hanging out with whoever. The everyday person doesn't really know how to, what I've learned is, like, the everyday person doesn't do their research, doesn't do their due diligence. They will see you say, they'll see Jessie Woo say, oh yeah, I went to such and such. Oh, well, let me go to such and such too. Not doing their own research. You don't know if I'm telling you to, you don't know if I'm advising you to go to a scammer. You just watch my live, you watch my channel, you like the way I carry myself. So in your mind, oh, Jessie Woo would never steer me wrong. Now, would I do that? Absolutely not. But there are a lot of people who will. They be knowing this person is a scammer. They be knowing this person is an abuser. And they will still bring them into rooms where they can collect other potential victims. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and save this. I just want to do my community service for the month. Let y'all know this man right here, scammer, swindler, thief, volé, voleur, man, chien sale, saloperie. Stay far away from this man. Okay? He's not above stealing from you too. I'm really happy that this finally caught up with him, but I look forward to seeing if people are going to actually file their own personal lawsuits, because I know several people out here who that man owes a lot of money to. A lot of money. And I'm not talking about just, I mean, money is money, but I'm talking about a good amount. So now that y'all see that the feds done caught his ass, go ahead and get your piece too. Okay? Do me a favor. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this with a friend. Anybody in Huntsville, Alabama, any church folks, any people that's in the industry, share this. Tell they ass this man's a scammer, and to stay far away from this man. This man is not a man of God. He's not a man of God. He uses God to scam people. Period. All right, y'all. We're gonna need an update after. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna keep my ears to the streets, child. Exactly. This is my Black Women's Community Service for the month. I love y'all down, honey. I'll see y'all next time.
I just turn the water on. Big old flex. Shit you never saw before.